increasing retention, developing commitment, and steering towards success with structure. If you're a meeting or event planner, a high-level executive, or the person in charge of steering your team towards success, then today, I'd love to share a powerful tool with you. What I like to call this is structure. Now I'm going to share with you the nutrition structure that helped me become a more attentive and loving husband and father, and a top performing corporate professional. Because you see, at the end of the day, it's not only what you do, but it's how you do it. And one of the most important things that you can have to accomplish a goal is structure or guidance to stay engaged, to stay committed. With that being said, today we're gonna dive deep into the perspective of structure, dealing with the difficulties, and at the end, the actual structure that I'm gonna give to you so that you can take it and apply it starting today. So without further ado, let's jump right into the gold. When it comes to structure, the first thing we talk about is perspective. Now, what I want you to do is think back to a time where you utilized structure in your life, right? And for me, the number one thing I think about is school. But you see, school was always this pressure heavy thing where if I didn't get there at a specific time or by a specific moment, right, there was heavy consequence. And what I want you to do is realize that in the structure that I'm about to give you, the perspective I want you to have is rigid versus flow, right? A rigid structure, there's heavy consequence. There's negative impact if you don't show up. Flow is more about understanding that you got to get to that point at that time and doing your best to get there with a little bit of a grace period, right? Because at the end of the day, we're not perfect. So if I ask you to eat at a specific time or eat specific things, I'm asking you to do your best. So that's between you and you. So the perspective on structure is more of a guide versus a rule book telling you exactly what to do. The second thing we talk about structure is dealing with the difficulties. At the end of the day, right? If I'm giving you a plan and I'm asking you to get there, between you and getting to that event, whether it's making a shake or preparing a snack or preparing your dinner, right? There's a gap. And in that gap, our minds can take control and can convince us out of what we need to do. Things like, I don't have time, or I can't, or I won't, or the different thoughts that creep in here, right? So in dealing with the difficulties or the mindset shift, it comes down to one thing and one thing only. And that is just do it. It's not gonna be perfect. You're not gonna show up at exactly the millisecond that I'm asking you to, and that's okay. It's more about getting the practice of overcoming your fears and stepping into the structure than it is about being perfect. Okay, so the second thing in dealing with the difficulties, just step in. You have the guide, you know what to do, just do it. Number 3, right? What is the actual structure and how does it benefit you? Well, before I give you, right, the structure and the rundown, I want to tell you this, is that the number one thing that a structure gives you is the riddance of stress. You no longer have to question what it is that you're doing, right? And that is a big weight off your shoulders. It's an advantage to you. It's not something, again, that's pulling you down. If you know what's coming, then you simply can get to it, right? So the way it's gonna benefit you is it's gonna reduce a dramatic amount of stress from your life. We eat every single day. So if you can have things readily available for you to eat, and you know when to eat it, and you know on the back end you're gonna increase energy, feel good about yourself, and take full advantage of nutrition, then you know it's gonna be worth it. So with that, let's give you exactly what to do on a daily basis to feel good, remain energetic, and reduce stress, okay? So here's how I want you to think about it. Think about a time clock, okay? We're gonna start at 8 a.m. Let's say 8 a.m. is your breakfast window, okay? So plus or minus 30 minutes, you're taking in a wholesome, nutritious breakfast. Protein shake, oatmeal, some berries and nuts, something that's gonna fuel you and encourage you throughout the day, okay? Then your next checkpoint, about 11 a.m., 2.5 to 3 hours later, your next snack, smaller portion meal. Then you move on past the midday point all the way to about 1 o'clock, where I would want you to have your lunch. Whether it's, again, another protein shake, depending on the plan that you're on, whether it's a well-rounded, wholesome meal, whether it's leftovers from last night, but getting to that mark is critical. Because then we follow it up with the next part, 3:30 to 4 p.m., the space where we lose track of time as busy professionals. The only thing we see is nighttime. There's nothing in between. So if we can stop ourselves at around 3:30 or 4 to pay attention to our health, our well-being, it's gonna set us up for a successful night, which comes 5:30 to 6 p.m., okay? Dinner time. Now you know when to eat. You have your food in the fridge. You're ready to go, right? Stress is out the window. So again, 8 a.m., 11 a.m., 1 p.m., 3:30 to 4, and then finish it up 5:30 to 6. As you can see, there's about a rough 12-hour window with 5 markers at about 2.5 to 3 hour span. It sounds like a lot. It's gonna be intense, but I'm telling you, this shift from negativity, from resentment, from feeling bad about yourself, from lack of sleep, from lack of energy, to, right, vibrance, wholesomeness, energy, enthusiasm, and positivity is undeniable. It's gonna take some hard work. It creates a shift, but if as a culture, if as a company, if as people, we can begin to utilize a structure, right? We can begin to focus on our life, on our health, versus just the dollars or the results, then we will feel a level of commitment to ourselves. And the retention is no longer out here in our work world, it's in here. It's because the way we do one thing is the way we do everything. So commit to your nutrition, and in turn you'll commit to your family, you'll commit to your profession, and you'll commit to the life of your dreams. You heard it here, you heard it now. Structure to success.